What's going on, guys? Let me get everything set up here. Today is a bright red day today. You know, I was trying to stay away from it, but, you know, stuff happens when you trade stocks, guys. And, you know, this is not one that I'm proud of. But all I can say is I'll explain it when I go over today's trading day. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys been, you know, studying to avoid what I did today. Today is my biggest loss in my trading career. Ouch, Michi, ouch. And we'll go ahead and cover how that happened here in a second. So, again, hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. 929. Yeah, there you go, Michi. 4-6. Ow, your damn claws. Yeah, so today was frustrating to say the least. We're down almost 7 figures today, guys. But I'll go ahead and explain in detail exactly how I'm going to recover and things like that. You know, in all honesty, I'm not really that worried. Just give me a second. I want to set everything up here. Okay, there's that. Small caps. My computer's going slow today. Go options. All right, and then we're gonna post the actual P&L here. All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys had a better trading day than me. Frustrating day, man. Frustrating day. But again, guys, you know, these things happen. And as I get better as a trader and as I get more size and as I evolve, you're going to see me take bigger and bigger losses. That's just how trading goes. The more size you take, the bigger gains, the bigger losses you're going to make. Today was just very unacceptable, and I'm going to go ahead and over that here in about 1 minute. I just want to make sure I set everything up properly. Okay? So just give me 1 second before I start explaining today's day. I guess we can go VNAR. We'll go TIRX. EBET coin. And what was another runner today? Oh, a Clove. All right, that's posted. And then we'll go live on TikTok now. Alright, guys. So we're live here at NoMagnotTrading.com. I want to go over today's trading day. Basically, the big loss was on EBET. And I want to explain kind of my thought process on this and then go from there. We lost $945,000 on one stock. I can't even believe I'm saying that, guys. Super frustrating. It's not fun to say that by any means. It's not fun to say that at all. But as always, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be honest and open with you guys no matter what I do, no matter how I trade, whether it be you guys thinking that I'm bragging that I'm green, whether it be you guys thinking that, you know, I'm just trying to say, well, all I have is green days, and I'm some crazy trader who turned 1,000 into 7 or 18 million in 333 business days with no losses, and I don't have any hiccups along the way. Well, guess what? Reality check, guys. I am human. I make mistakes. I am not some robotic trader who doesn't get attached emotionally or does not get FOMO or does not get any of the things that you fall into. Whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced trader, we all make mistakes. We all have problems in our trading process, plan, and strategy. And it's about eliminating those problems eliminating those downsides in your trading repertoire and trying to create the opportunity to the upside. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm pretty positive with today, guys. I'm not too negative about today. I know that I'm down a hell of a lot of money. And I know to a lot of you guys, this might make your year, your next 10 years, or might make your entire career. Okay? But in all honesty, I just have a very high bar in my lifetime. I'm 26 years old. These are losses that I'm going to have to get comfortable with. If I'm trading a 5, a 10, a 15, a 20, a $25 million account, these are losses that I'm just going to have to understand how to take. And I'm just being honest with you guys. I started just like you guys. In all honesty, when I was young, my net worth was probably, when I was about 18 to 19 years old, it was about was it $15,000 or $16,000, because I saved a lot and I was doing a lot of garage sales and always trying to be smart and be frugal. And in that time span, guys, I created the reality that, in the beginning, I lost about $9,000 to $10,000. I lost probably over half my net worth or close to it. And, so that I can relate to you guys with. I can relate to you guys, a lot of you guys, with the fact that, I didn't have a whole lot to start with. And in all honesty, I started with $1,000 to create that $1 million challenge, 1,000 to $1 million back in 2017, 2018. And that's what really gave me the leg up. That's how I created my success. That's how I got, basically the opportunity that I have today. And all I've done throughout my career is compound that amount. In all honesty, I mean, 95 to 9, well, probably like 98% of my net worth is all from trading, guys. I have strategies and processes and plans that work. Sure, I have other incomes, but I don't really focus on it. I really just do it to help you guys and create that opportunity for you guys in the long run. I have my course, I have my scanners, I have my Webull, I have trade ideas, but that doesn't mean, like, with what I'm doing in my trading career, it doesn't even touch, any of that, not even by the slightest. And that's the way I'm always gonna be, hopefully. I always want to, lead by example, lead by showing you guys what not to do, like today, and also things that work, so you guys can build on that. And in all honesty, it's not fun to come on here and say, yeah, I'm down $939,000. But I have to be blessed that I can still keep a smile on my face and still stay, very positive, and realize that this is something that I'm going to have to get used to, And then I was going to go. So, I started with basically not a whole lot. And in my career, I've created a lot of opportunities, and I've taken advantage of the GameStops, all the parabolic plays I take advantage of, right? And in that time, I've been able to compound and compound and compound, whether it be my long-term, the inherited IRA, or this challenge account, for example. And anything in between there, I'm always learning and evolving. And I know, most likely in a year from now, these type losses will probably become the norm. And I know it sounds crazy, but in order to compound, in order to take, the next step, the next leg, the next push up to be the next best trader you can be, I have to take losses like these. And did I want to take this loss? No. I didn't just click the buttons and hope that I was going to lose this much money. But I will explain why and how this happened going forward, and how I'm going to kind of create the opportunity so I don't make the same mistake again. Okay? So just know, I've always, I used to be just like a lot of you guys. Basically, not a lot of money, very small income. And then I just compounded my accounts. I've done 3 account challenges. 1,000 to $1 million in 2017, 1,000, and that was using using stock trade. 1,000 and about 600 or 700,000 using Robinhood. And then this current challenge, 1,000 into now about, well, after today's loss, about 17.3 million and 333 business days. So it's not like I'm some crazy guy who's just taking, $1 million and throwing it at the market, and that's never what I want to inspire you guys with. because I know a lot of you guys can't relate to that. I know a lot of you guys can't understand what it's like to just throw $1 million at something. But you all have to realize that I started with $1,000. And as you can see here, my equity is $655,000. And my goal this month was to trade with $3 million in equity. And, you know, I used to have, I don't know, at the high point about 2.2, I think 2.3 million. And then I went on my vacation to Austin. And, you know, I kind of got a little, I was trying to take some swing trades in here, and that's kind of where my mentality kind of got skewed. And obviously today's results can explain that. And last time I went on a trip to Europe, I did kind of the same thing. I kind of had a hiccup in my trading. And so, you know, this is all the honest stuff that's happened in my life and my career. And, you know, I want you guys to be inspired. I want you guys to be motivated that, you know, we all start from somewhere. But it comes from having a proper plan, a process, and a strategy, and building on those strategies to where you can make money in any kind of market. You can evolve in any kind of market to success, right? And I now long and short stocks. Shorting was not really much of my part of my game until probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And I'm slowly starting to bring that into my game. You know, and so, you know, today's losses represent something in the future that I'm going for. And that is, you know, basically making this a norm. You know, I know it sounds weird, but when I have a red day, I kind of want it to be a norm to be down 7 figures, you know, because I do want to trade. My long-term goal is to trade like a hedge fund would, okay? I have a long-term account. I have a multi-week, multi-month swing trading account, which is my inherited IRA. And then I have this account, which is taking advantage of the intraday volatility. And those 3 accounts is what I want to perfect over my career. And obviously, throughout that time, I've done great things in my inherited IRA. You know, I took my mom's, you know, she passed away 2 years ago, and she left me with about $60,000 in there, and I took it to now well over 3.6 million in that account, or is it 3.4 million in that account alone? You know, so I don't say this to brag. I don't say this to be like, oh, look at me, I'm some perfect trader that you guys all need to idolize and things like that. I'm just being truthful and honest with my path and my career and what's happened throughout my career. And it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, guys. You know, when I first started, I lost about half my net worth, okay? And, you know, I said to everyone basically I was going to quit trading. And that could have been the biggest mistake I ever made in my entire life, was that. And I still kind of hung on, and I said, you know what? I got to figure out how to do this, because I don't want to have a 9-to-5 job. I don't like school, and I don't really find anything in school that I can find really attractive for me except for maybe finance. And that's what I did. You know, I did 2 years at a community college and got my AA, and then I started business and finance. Well, I was going to be a weatherman, but then, you know, after that, I moved on. But obviously into more business and finance. And so, you know, I think anybody can do this if they put the time and the work and the effort in, you know, and I know that you think, you know, I do this full time, and I started full time trading about 3.5, almost 4 years ago now. And even before that, though, I was putting in little bits and pieces of time. And even those little bits and pieces of time that I put in helped me in the long term succeed a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker, right? And so for you guys, you know, anybody out there who has a full-time job or a part-time job or what have you, stocks, it doesn't have an expiration. Baseball, basketball, football, whatever it be. You know, you have to realize that those sports have an expiration. They have their 10, their 5, their 15-year careers. They make their chunk of change, and they're done. And now they're going into a world where they don't know what to do with all the money they created. They lived a life of you know, a lot of high ball and stuff like Rolexes and cars and you know, all this parties and all the expensive bottles of alcohol and everything that you could think of. And it's not necessarily their fault. I mean, that's just the life that they created for themselves. But when the income cuts off, it's like, where do I go? This is a whole new world. But the reality is, we all need to be blessed in our own world to think about the opportunities that we have. You know, I personally think this career is the best career I could possibly have. I don't have anybody over my head any day. I don't have any boss over my head. The opportunity is endless. You know, whether your goal is hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions. Guys, the market in itself can create opportunity for you. If you have the right plan, process, and strategy, you put the amount of time in studying and put the effort into to recognize patterns and opportunities that are created every single day in the market, then we all have the capabilities to have an understanding of where we're going to create our own opportunity in trading. And you guys might learn, a lot of you guys might have bought my course and said, hey, you know, I learned this, and this from him, but this doesn't really work, but this does that I learned from him. And we all have our own emotional capabilities. A lot of you guys, even with this type of account that I have, might not be able to withstand and understand and have the feeling of losing this much money. And that's okay, but because we all have our own risk tolerance, we all have our own emotional tolerance, we're all our own people, and that's what makes the market so interesting. You being your own person is what causes stocks to go up and down. But in between the lines, you can learn from so many different traders out there, it's unreal. You can learn from hundreds of successful traders, tens of successful traders, a handful of successful traders, or thousands of successful traders. And I encourage you all to learn from as many traders as you can, not just from me, not just from, everyone else out there. Learn from as many as you can, because in all honesty, the things that helped me be successful was, one, my work ethic. No one ever got me up in the mornings. I always got myself up in the mornings. Number two, I learned from so many different people on YouTube, in chat rooms. I even learned from a ton of people who make a ton of mistakes, because even those people that aren't profitable, I'm learning from what not to do. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And in every moment that I am on this planet and recognizing every ounce of what somebody does, I'm always recognizing, okay, that was right, and that was wrong, and this is what worked, and this is what didn't. And I can sit here and cry my sorrows away and say, I'm really pissed off at myself for losing on EBET. But the reality is, I am actually positive and understanding that, you know what, next time I'll learn. Next time this won't happen. I'll never forget this trade, and it'll always be in the back of my mind what not to do. A day two sympathy play to UTME with low volume and a hard sell-off in the morning, with basically just an all downwards morning of price action, and just sold off all day. And UTME didn't even go day two or day three, so I was actually short biased on this name, but I thought we were going to get a bounce. But it's a big mistake, but the bigger the mistakes, the more you learn from. And you actually learn more from your losses than you do your wins. So if you guys had a green day, you're probably like, let's go on to the next day. But if you have a red day, you're like, damn, like, how am I going to put food on the table? How am I going to understand, like, where am I going to go from here? And the reality is, guys, I started just like you with $1,000. I'm sure a lot of you guys can afford $1,000. And I created my plan, my process, my strategy to give myself a repetitive opportunity to create compound growth over time with the intraday volatility. So you guys that are out there saying, well, he's trading with 100,000 or 1 million or 2 million or 3 million or what have you, you have to realize that I started with $1,000 in this account, okay? And I take small amounts of money and turn them into bigger amounts of money, because I want to inspire, to motivate, and to always say in the very beginning of this, guys, even though it looks crazy, I only had $1,000, okay? And I do that to inspire, I do that to motivate, and I do that to show you guys what's possible, right? And there's not, and it really sounds unbelievable. And I 100% don't disagree with that thought that's going through your mind potentially. But in the end, over the 3 challenges that I've done, I've just learned so much throughout my career to be able to create that. And we turned 1,000 into 1 million, 109 business days, 1,000 into 5 million. I think it was like 200 and something business days, or was it 180? I can't remember the exact days. But it's all documented on my YouTube channel. And now, obviously, we're at over 17 million. And this is just a little, now I can say that I'm very blessed to say it's just a little blimp, it's a little dent in my challenge, okay? But would I have ever thought that I could ever lose this much money, let's say a year ago? No. And feel all right with it? No. But in a way, this is like leveling up for me as a trader. I now have swallowed officially a $939,596.64 loss on the day. I now have swallowed that. It's official. It's over with. It's done with, but I've learned from it. And, the reality is, guys, I traded a stock that I thought would give me a solid bounce, at least to break even, or at least maybe to make a couple $100,000, okay? And, I was short biased on this name. I wanted to see 60s, 65s, and risk off this pre-market high to start shorting it, right? And the right thought process on this was short. And I was short biased going into this day. But we had a nice gap. I thought since we sold off right out of the gates that we'd see a nice bounce, maybe through 48s and through 50s, and maybe get 55s and 60s. And then I'd start to short, right? I was trying to get a bounce, but I just never, ever got the bounce, guys. And, a mistake that I made that you can sometimes pay the price for is adding. No one wants to be the trader that sells off at the exact bottom because they get scared and you end up panicking out and then it goes without you. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't want to be the trader that sells off in here or sells in here or sells in here or sells in here or sells in here and end up being the guy who basically sold rock bottom and then, had this thing go to 45s to 50s and the short squeeze and then finally sell off, right? I didn't want to be that guy. And a lot of the times I'm right. But the thing is, when you're playing with that much size, it just takes one to blow you up. And the main problem of the trade that I did today was not necessarily my position sizing. But then it was more of basically the amount. Sorry, it was not the way that I was trading it. It was the amount of size that I was trading with. Next time, when it's a slower market like this, I know that, we have not been that hot. We haven't had 100% runner intraday. We haven't had a big time run in a while. It's been a couple weeks. We're not seeing left and right big time, intraday consolidation and rip through highs. We're not seeing, the GameStop volatility anymore as much. We're not seeing, TRX was a crazy bottom out. I'm sure it bounced 100%, but it wasn't on huge volume. Clove was a big runner today, and that was basically, up, 35, 40% on the day. So, TIRX was another one, and this one was up like 40% on the day. So, we're not seeing those 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 1,000% runners with big liquidity and big time opportunity. So, therefore, I had no reason to size up. So the biggest mistake today was not my entries. It was the amount of size that I took on this trade. And that's what I'll learn for next time. Next time, in the market that we're in, and the amount of volatility, and the amount of, liquidity, and the things happening around us, guys, I should have never, ever taken whatever, $2.4, $2.6 million position on this name. Because, guys, not only, I thought maybe this was a huge sell-off right here, and then we're just going to get that rip straight back up and we'll get halted. You know what I mean? But even that, with that big a position size, you're going to get some slippage as well. Unless you're selling into people that are buying it, it's going parabolic and starts halting. I mean, if you're selling into the downsell of this trend here, you're going to get some slippage on top of that. So all these things that just were not proper. The amount of slippage that I would take since I'm in it, and I had 71,000 shares, which, you can see on the day it traded, 8.1 million shares. So, I was like 1,000th, or I don't know the math on that. And it's not even a blimp in what happened today, but it's still like, you have to realize that a lot of times with that much size, you can take slippage, and then if it doesn't work out, it can be bad. And, on top of that, the market wasn't hot. So the biggest mistake overall was not the way I was trading it. It was the amount of money that I was actually adding in the position size. Maxed on this position should have been $500,000, maybe $600,000 worth of shares. Maybe, okay? In this market, on a Friday, all these things going that aren't necessarily on my side, it hurt me. And I'll learn from it. But I want you guys to have an understanding that I'm staying positive, and, this is something that kind of helps you level up as a trader, is taking big losses. So, don't feel bad. Don't say, well, I'm sorry. Just, what? It's okay. I will learn from this. And next week, it's going to be base hit after 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 base hit. No, I'm just kidding. But the reality is, guys, I will be going for base hits for a while. Until we get the volatility back, until we get the huge amount of ups and downs, and there's a huge surge across the entire market, I will be sizing down and just base hits. $100,000 day is fine. $50,000 day is fine. And after a base hit, it's another base hit, and it's another base hit, and it's another base hit, until you can't wear the word after a base hit again, okay? You can't wear that word out anymore after a base hit, right? So, anyways, guys, if you guys are interested, check out the free chat room, link in the description below. My course that teaches you my processes, also link in the description below. Brokerage that I use, a lot of you guys ask me what brokerage I use. Well, if you're on YouTube, it's all in the link in the description below. If you want to get paid up to $1,400 in free stocks using the brokerage Webull, click that link as well. Scanners that I use, which are right here, you guys can see this is my scanner. I'll show it to you guys. There's my scanner there. That's what I use every day. It's the first thing that I boot up. It's the first thing that I look at every single day of my trading. I probably take about 60 to 70% of my trades from the scanners in itself, the all-in-one and large cap. And feel free to check that out as well. But everything that I do here at NorMagnetTrading.com is basically it's basically like when I lost half my net worth, it was basically like what I didn't have, which was I didn't have to look at anybody going through tough days like today or going through green days like what will happen next week, most likely, if I stick to my plan. I didn't have a scanner to look at. I didn't have a course to learn from. I didn't have somebody coming live and documenting their YouTube and documenting their trading challenge and their trading career, all fully verified on YouTube. I didn't have a free chat room. There was a lot of paid, but not really free. Well, I have a free chat room. I didn't have in the free chat room a lot of things to study and learn from. I didn't have really a bunch of moderators that are starting to become well-seasoned traders to learn from. I didn't have any of this. So I'm trying to create the opportunity that I never had, that I wanted but never had it, and give that to you guys. And I hope that the free chat room, I hope the mods and everything else are helping you guys a ton. Okay? So enjoy your guys' weekend. Next week, it's base hit after 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 base hit. Can I get one person to repeat after me? There's about 250 people on between all the streams. Base hit after 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 base hit. Hopefully one of you guys said it. Anyways, after base hit after base. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys for the support and supporting the NorMagnetTrading.com community. I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming on here. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I really appreciate that, guys. It helps the NorMagnetTrading.com community, and I will see you guys next week, okay? Study hard this weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure to take some time off from trading. Always meet that happy medium of taking some time off, enjoying your life, but also creating a little bit of time to study and, continue to motivate yourself, and hopefully I inspired and motivated one more person today, okay? I appreciate you guys. Cheers, team.